We did it. We did it. I did it. Well, I did it. It was me. It was me who done it. Okay, right. If you watched the playthrough, I appreciate you very much. This isn't going to be 11 hours of the footage that I've captured because that is too many hours. But I've 100%ed Hogwarts Legacy.
AKA HOGGY LEGGY.
And the proof is in the pudding. And the pudding is on the screen. And the screen is the pudding. And the proof is on... There's custard in the pudding. Yep. We found all of the ancient magic traces off the balloons. Did the mailing trials. We found all of the landing platforms, the astronomy tables. We solved the Hogwarts secrets. We defeated the trolls, the wolves, the spiders, the goblins, the inferi, the dark wizards, and the infamous foes. Honestly, it took ages. This is, hands down, no holds barred, the best version of the wizarding world that exists. Unless there's a real one. It's better than the 2 books I've read when I was a kid, and it's better than all the movies that I've mostly forgotten, and it's defo better than those other films that come out afterwards where that fella's doing beast stuff. You know, it just kind of hit me that maybe I'm not the biggest fan of Harry Potter, and that's okay, because this game made me into a lot more of a fan than I was, and that's impressive. I care, like, I genuinely, in some stupid way, care about this world. And while I was playing, I genuinely sat there and was like, wait, is Revelio a real spell? Just as a side note, it is a real spell, but it doesn't do the same thing in the Wizarding world as the game, but it's a game, so you have to take some liberties to make the game playable, you know? It took me 54 hours. It took me 54 hours of gameplay to get to this position of done, you know? And honestly, could have done less. So here's my overall review of Hogwarts Legacy. Obviously, it's all based on how I feel about it. It can't really be based on much else. It's 10 minutes long, you're 2 minutes in, you know, we're already on our way there. Hogwarts and the surrounding areas feels authentic. There's definitely this level of verisimilitude that the game builds up, because obviously you know things can't be real, because, you know, people are using wands and casting Wingardium Leviosa. But the open world is packed with different locations to discover and activities, and it truly does all wrap up to become this gestalt entity where all of these pieces of the puzzle all fit together really nicely. The combat's good, the spells feel powerful and definitely contribute to the power fantasy of the world. I've been trying to figure out why I like this combat system so much, and I think it's because it feels like this adaptation of the Batman Arkham series combat. It's moved from melee to ranged, but it's sprinkled in complications over that ranged aspect with the spells that you get to cast, and at the same time it's removed the complication of the inputs you need to reactionarily do against enemies. I mean, you still do have to dodge and block, but that's not where the complication comes in. Where the complication comes in is understanding the enemy's weaknesses and what horrific spell combination you're going to hit them with to turn them into mist, which makes it an easier system to just become a god. To get new spells, you need to progress through the story. To progress through the story, you need to do some sideways exploration. While you're doing the sideways exploration, you will be using those spells, so it becomes a nice little gameplay loop. Throughout your story, you will meet an eclectic batch of side characters who each have their own personality and flaws and feelings, and that is nice to see. I don't know how much the choices I made affected those relationships and changed things. I know one of them with Cole Sprouse / Sebastian Sallow seems quite important and like it could have changed a lot of things, but I can't see the other side of that coin without playing through the game again. But I got to really like Ominous, and I genuinely felt bad for him, even though I was the person who was egging Sebastian on and being like, yeah, let's learn Avada Kedavra. And that's just because me, the player, wanted to cast the spell. Like, truly in the lore of the world, I shouldn't be doing that. People should be elbow dropping me every time I'm mentioning it. But you also have side quests with Natty, which are not the best until the end of them. And Poppy's side quests, which I genuinely think are the best side quests in the game. They just feel like the type of quest that you would be going on, you know? But not all side quests are made equal. I would say there's a good chunk of them that are good. However, there is also a bad chunk of them which is bad. Take it for what it's worth. You don't have to do them all. They are side quests. Now, I think that leads on perfectly to my next point, which is this game has so much content. As I said, 54 hours. That's a lot of hours, but not all 54 were good. And I did genuinely end up in the place of, well, I said I was going to 100% it, so I am going to 100% it, but it really wasn't worth it. There's so many mail-in trials. The balloons aren't bad, but even then there's too many of them. The landing platforms are just stupid from the get-go. I don't see why there's even one in the game, and I was sick of trying to find them all. The Daedalian keys are all in Hogwarts, so they're not that bad to find, but they are a little bit difficult to track them all down. I did actually end up using the guides to find the last one. The last one I couldn't get using my own brain, and it was in a place that I thought I'd already checked, so truly my own brain is bad. And the reward for the Daedalian keys is kind of worth how much effort it takes to do the Daedalian keys, but not all of the rewards are equal in that capacity, and it's difficult to know which is which while you're playing the game. But the world building and exploration are great if you do them for the right reasons, which is just to have fun. Yeah, they throw a lot of content in, but it's not all content that you need. And I think people will have very different experiences on the game based on the gaming tendencies that they themselves have and the things that they are fortunate or unfortunate enough to run into consistently. Another piece of sideline content that isn't necessary for the story of the game in really any capacity, but is a beautiful addition, is the Room of Requirement. So there's a decent selection of character customization options at the start of the game.
The only poor one being the voice option.
P.S. if anyone wants to make a Scouse mod, get on me, you know what I'm saying, lad. But you get to continually customize your character with the gear that you get and the transmogrify system that's built into the game. But not only that, you get to customize a room, and it's funky and it's fresh. I put that there. I chose that wall. And as I was saying about the character customization, I chose to wear that clobber. But all of it really does add up and make you get more and more invested in the world, even if you do look ridiculous. And if you look at the story of the game, it is great. It is well written. It's phenomenal. It's good playthrough. It is very much a, oh, I am the chosen one. I am the messiah of wizards, which is a fantasy trope that I'm not the biggest fan of.
All right, I am the Messiah! He is the Messiah! Now, fuck off!
Spoilers! It's time for spoilers! Oh, stop listening if you don't want spoilers. The story is good. However, basically the main antagonist is a little fella, little goblin called Ranrock throughout the story, and he's OP and he's powerful, and that's all good. I don't care too much about that part of it. However, the final boss battle is against Ranrock, and I personally was looking forward to him pulling off some Yoda moves, you know, because he's got magic powers. He's a little fella. I thought he was going to jump around, sling some magic spells at me because he's harnessed this other ancient magic. I thought he was going to, you know, whammy me, hit me with some crapola that I haven't seen before in the rest of the game, which is partially true. He does these large attacks, but he also turns into a big weird dragon, and I don't know why. The game doesn't really explain it. It's not good. It's not fun. The final boss battle should be a piece. It should be the exclamation point at the end of the sentence. It's not. This is a comma at best. A semicolon. I don't know. It's not good. So is the game worth it, or should you swerve it? Personally, I would say the game is worth the money. It took me 54 hours to do the story, the side quests, and all of the challenges. I played it for 54 hours. I paid £50. It's less than £1 an hour. I mean, that's worth it. That's a good deal. However, I don't think there's 54 hours of quality content in here at this stage. I think it's more like 30 hours for the main quest line, the interesting side quests, and completing a number of challenges that isn't mind-numbing. Also, if you're expecting to play Quidditch or use an Expecto Patronum, they're not in the game, which is a little bit of an issue. But overall, I'd still say it's worth the money. If Avalanche add Quidditch or the Patroni to the game for free, I would say pick it up. I would say if it goes on sale, pick it up. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, just pick it up. It's a good game. Genuinely surprised by how good of a game it is. The first good Harry Potter game, to ever exist. And as I said at the start of the video, this is the best version of the wizarding world, but I might be biased because I am a gamer. I'm also a trucker and gamer. Honk if you are gaming. So yeah, I'm gonna give this game 9 out of 10 wands. Moist meter? I can't do that. Charlie will tell me off. On a scale of fish, like minnow to whale. Whale's not a fish. 9 out of 10 trucks.
Let's fucking go, baby!
Like the video, subscribe, tag MaxMofo, send feet pics to Chad. Take a shot every time you couldn't understand what I was saying. Send Chad's pics to feet. Yeah. See you next time. Bye.